Football Club Barcelona, an institution that prides itself on ethics, identity, prestige, on being, as their motto says, més que un club, more than a club, while at the same time making payments that added up to more than 7 million euros to the company of the man who, at that moment, had influence over referee appointments. For 17 years, Barça directed money toward a key member of the refereeing structure, and what happened next was even more unsettling. What you are about to see is the story behind the Negreira Case, one of the darkest chapters surrounding the club's recent history. Today, you are going to understand how it began, what was paid for, and why it cast such a huge shadow over Football Club Barcelona. Hola, ¿qué tal? My name is Alberto. Get comfortable, and if you want to catch everything, turn on the subtitles. Here, we rely on public documents, verified data, and reputable reporting. No wild conspiracies, just putting together pieces that are already out there. And with that said, welcome to Football Finance Files. It all begins in 2001. Year after year, Barcelona paid the company owned by José María Enríquez Negreira for an alleged service of referee reports, or at least that's what the invoice says, until you look closer, because there were no saved reports, no videos, no recordings, no dossiers, not a single document providing the service existed. It was as if all that work had never existed at all. The club could not show a single file, a void that cast up on everything that had been said, and what is even more unsettling is that the amounts increased year after year, while Barca's explanation failed to clear those doubts. And all of this was happening during the team's golden era, when Barcelona was winning everything, and financial fair play was beginning to tighten the economic margin for clubs. But the truly disturbing part comes next. As soon as Negreira leaves this position, the payments stop immediately. A cut so abrupt it set off every alarm, and suddenly the calm collapsed. The prosecutor office gets involved, complaints multiply, the questions become uncomfortable. If it was a normal service, why does it stop the moment Negreira leaves his role? From here, the story moves into dangerous territory, because Barça is not just facing accusations, but something even more delicate for an institution like this, watching its reputation begin to crack. In modern football, your reputation is worth millions, and when it falls, the money evaporates. And the Negreira case explodes as the worst possible moment. Record debt, pressure from financial fair play, stadium renovations, and failing revenue, and a scandal that changed how many people remember those years of glory. No sporting wrongdoing had to be proven. The shadow alone was enough. Sponsors hesitate, institutions apply pressure, rivals raise questions, a fan base feels the club story shake beneath their feet. All over payments that left far too many unanswered questions. The Negreira case does not prove that Football Club Barcelona, both referees, not did it demonstrate sporting corruption, but it did create the perfect storm to hit their credibility like never before. Because in football, a single perception error can destroy decades of reputation in an instant. Behind the spectacle, there are decisions, relationships, and silence capable of changing everything. And this time, that silence lasted 17 years, long enough to ignite a scandal, long enough to put an institution under pressure, long enough to remind us that in the business of football, the truth is not always what matters. What matters is what people believe. And when trust breaks, there is no money, no trophies, no excuses that can repair it. Suddenly, Barça went from being a global symbol to a giant forced to answer for a shadow that grew up until it became impossible to ignore. Because in this industry, you can lose matches, but when you lose trust, you lose far more than 7 million euros. And careful with the video that just popped up here, because if this case surprises you, wait until you see the one about Manchester City. More than 100 alleged financial breaches, a decade of alleged hidden payments, inflated figures, and operations that shocked the entire Premier League. The video is right here. Click it now.